Hi everyone, welcome to Spirit Chat with Mari and Brook. And today we're excited to just be spending time with everyone. A little bit of a technical thing. And I'd like to turn it over to my co-host, Mari.
Hello, everybody. Sorry, I was checking to see if the Facebook was streaming because I wanted to make sure that we were with everybody. So, welcome, welcome. Thank you, Winter, for grabbing that from me. It's been a day. Mercury retrograde is coming upon us, and there's always things that are happening. But we wanted to welcome all of you to Spirit Chat. Thank you so much for being here, as usual. Our usual in-house people in Zoom, people on Facebook, YouTube, and if you're listening to this later, then take what resonates, and we are happy to have you. So. For the people that don't know, my name is Medium Mari. I am a psychic medium and animal communicator, and sometimes also find lost pets and lost people too. But I'm grateful to be here with you and my beautiful co-host Winter Brook. And today we're doing spiritual smorgasbord, kind of whatever comes up. I think we're headed more in the area of self-care and how you take care of yourself over the summer with all the challenges. So we would love to hear from you. If you have questions, put it in the Facebook chat, put it in our chat here in the Zoom room, and we will love to get back to you during the show. So, Winter, tell us how you're doing. Welcome, welcome.
Hi everyone. I'm Brook for those unfamiliar with me, and I, as well as Mari, am a psychic medium and animal communicator. And Mari and I were talking a little bit before the show, and June is one of those months that is as busy as maybe Christmas time and December and Hanukkah and all the other holidays, right? June, you've got all the confirmations, and you've got the end of the school year and the end of the sports, if you have kids in sports or grandkids. So it becomes a very busy type of year. Plus, you've got nature. The energies from nature, buzzing around, the little baby bunnies and the young are the fledglings, the birds. So it tends to be a quick energy. And I feel it, as a sensitive person.
Mm,
Once we get past like maybe July 4th, there's like a slowing down. And even if you don't have kids at the moment, that are in camp and this program, that you kind of feel it. It's like it just rules all of us. There's this busyness in June, and then there's a slowing down over the summer. However, both Mari and I were commenting that we're very aware of dear friends and clients who are facing very difficult challenges right now, whether it's health, grief, um, changes, like marital changes. So it kind of played into the topic I wanted to talk about a little bit, which is now that we're going into the summer and things will slow down a bit, you find some time, each and every one of you, myself and Mari included, to be quiet, to just rest and maybe turn the world off. And if you're able to, go outside. If you are in a nice nature setting, I have my backyard. Other people have parks near them. Uh, and, allow yourself to absorb the healing energies of Mother Nature, the grass, focus on trying to listen to the bugs. If that sounds, my daughter would be like, no, I hate bugs. But the point I'm trying to make is like block out the human noise, the cars, the trucks, the yelling, the da 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 da, and just focus in. Because some of you live in the city, so it's kind of hard. If you live in the country, this is going to be much easier for you. But I think that's a way of just resetting your energy. If you can find a place to meditate, even better. But not everybody has, the ability to do that. You can meditate in your home as well if you're not able to get out. But I think it's important to recognize self care and care of your own energy with all the. I don't know, Mari. Do you also notice there's a lot more aggression right now? than there was 2 years ago.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what, when we were talking earlier, it just feels like, I mean, I used to be not avid, but I used to like to watch the news occasionally or listen to the radio. I had to stop, full on stop, no TV, no radio. I have no idea what's going on in the world. There could be a nuclear bomb, I would not know. Because there's just, like you were saying, there just feels like there's so much fighting and so many, people pitted one against the other. And I knew for myself and for my own energy, I couldn't handle it anymore. And so I think it's important if you recognize that some of the issues in our world are bothering you, like you don't have to take it all in. Like it's not a requirement. Like certainly if you want to stay up to date on current events, you can, but if it's affecting you in a negative way, then you don't need to. I mean, what you do need to do and what is a requirement is for you to take care of yourself. Because ultimately there is nobody else. I mean, you might have partners and kids and friends, but the only person that is 100% responsible for you is you. And I would hazard a guess that a lot of people watching this or listening to this are caretakers and they love to help others. And I will put myself in that group as well. So for us, sometimes it's hard to put that on hold for a little bit and say, like, wait a second, where do I fit into this situation? How can I take care of me? Because many times when we take care of everybody else, it's not only we're last on the list, sometimes we don't even make the list. So at least make your own list and try to push it up a few notches. So I think that's really important, especially in this, like was Winter was saying, this very tumultuous, I'd say, because there's like some spiritual awakening happening on the planet and more people are awakening, but at the same time, there's other forces that are kind of against that. And so it just feels like stuff is like all the time. And if you're sensitive, you're going to feel that. And it's important that you shield your energy from that. Like, does that make sense, Winter?
Absolutely, absolutely, because um, you can pick it up from total strangers if you're that sensitive, or you can pick it up if one of your loved ones that you're connected to strongly is upset. So, it's like taking a spiritual shower too. Just sitting in,
Yeah.
if you can't do a meditation, just find, I don't know, a minute, 60 seconds, and just visualize yourself in a beautiful golden shower of divine light from the Creator. Just kind of washing anything away that, you picked up. Like, when you walk through the fields, you pick up those little burrs. Sometimes you pick up the emotions or the energies of other people and you don't even realize it. If you walk into a room and all of a sudden you feel yourself kind of like upset and the room is full of people that are upset, that's an example of it. Conversely, you walk into a room where everyone's happy and jubilant and all of a sudden you're happy and jubilant. That's a good way of picking it up. But right now, there's a lot of people struggling, and they may not even mean to share it. But we're all spiritual beings, and it might even be your own stuff because you're worried about your loved ones and your friends and what they're going through, or maybe you're going through a major health concern or other situation. Take some time to just reconnect with your soul in the quiet, preferably in nature, because energy from nature is very healing. And in the summertime, it's the perfect time to do it because, most of us don't want to go out when it's negative 5 degrees. You can do it in your home. So if you have very bad allergies and you don't like being outside, you can have a little space dedicated in your home. It could be a chair that you like to sit in. And that's where you want to just kind of connect with your higher self and move your thoughts and awareness away from current events. You can pick it up when you're done. All right. If you so feel like it. If you can do a 10 or 15 minute meditation once or twice a week, that would do wonders. All right. Meditation is something that only improves your situation, whether you realize it or not. It will reduce your worries. And then if you have wrinkles, it because it reduces your flight and fright chemical reactions, and we all live in a state of fright or flight in 2026. It puts you in a place of peacefulness, so it will diminish the chemicals that are secreted for that, and that then slows down the aging process. Okay, so it's a free facelift. It will increase your gray matter, and if you are over the age of 50, like many of us I am seeing in the Zoom room, this is something that we should be concerned about. We want to keep our brains healthy. Okay, so a um, a meditation practice that's consistent, and you might need to do a little bit more than 10 minutes twice a week, but that has been scientifically shown to help increase gray matter, which helps with your cognitive abilities. It reduces emotions such as fear, anger, can help put you in a better state or perspective over a situation. Sometimes the best thing to do to get away is just to kind of if you can, put a situation on the shelf, walk away from it, and then revisit it a day or two, and you may have a different perception, or you're not as emotionally reactive toward it. Okay? Obviously, not every situation is going to lend itself to that behavior or methodology. But either way, the meditation will help you manage your emotions. So, really, I guess what we're trying to say is Mari and I seeing everybody, plus ourselves going through things. We both have children that are going in other states right now. And we're mamas, we worry. So meditation helps soothe us, brings us calmness, inner peace, and better enables us to manage, without being totally focused. Oh my God, with Mari, it's our son. Is he okay? With me, it's my daughter. She's driving to New Orleans to move. So this kind of self-care, it's for everybody. And that's what we kind of wanted to talk about a little bit, as well as do some readings before the end of the season, because we take the summer hiatus to spend time with our families, even though they're going in totally different directions, right?
Right, exactly. Or chase after my family is like, oh, come spend time with me. And when you were talking, Winter, I totally agree with everything you were saying. Of course, the meditation piece, and I just remembered the story that because I know not everybody lives in, a beautiful wooded area. Some people live in the city, and you're like, oh yeah, Winter and Mari, how am I going to get away? How am I going to find? If you look, you can find. So let me just tell you a brief story about, when I lived in Los Angeles. I lived there for a very long time. And I lived in a tiny apartment, in the back, like kind of face the alley. Many of these beautiful places have, like an apartment or a condo in front, and then they have small apartments in the back that kind of face the alley over the garages. I know, very glamorous. So that's where I lived, but I was like, okay, I need to be outside. And if anyone's ever been to Los Angeles, the traffic is hellacious, and it takes you, even if Santa Monica or whatever is nearby, it will take you forever to get there. So I was like, I need to be outside. I need to get some fresh air. I mean, of course, you could take a walk. So I found in the alley behind my house is there was just like a little outcropping, like a little cement outcropping, because this is where like all the cars would park underneath the apartments. And there's just a tiny little triangle. And I remember I would take a little beach blanket and I would just sit there because it was in the sun. And it was not the most glamorous surrounding, but it was quiet, certainly more quiet than the street. And being in the sun, even if you have to wear a hat or sunblock, being in the sun is very healing. And so I would just sit there for a few minutes. Maybe I looked like a weirdo because I was sitting in an alley in Los Angeles, but I was like, I gotta get some outside time. And, the city is crazy. And this was just like, I carved out like a little niche for myself just for a few minutes whenever I needed to escape. And I know if I can find it in Los Angeles, you can find it where you are. It could be a tiny park, it could be, near the side of a church or something. So don't discount this moment of peace for yourself if you happen to live in the city, because it is available to everybody. You just sort of have to might make adjustments if you're not in a beautiful country setting. So I definitely encourage, like Winter said, the meditation is great. You can do that in your house. You can do it anywhere. You can even do it sitting in your car, as long as you're not driving. Just that, don't do it while you're driving, not recommended. But the moment, just sitting there, if you're parked in the shade somewhere, whatever it is, it's taking time to be with yourself. And you could even do it, if you make your cup of coffee or tea in the morning, you're like, okay, I'm going to take 10 minutes. I'm going to, put the kids in front of the TV for a little while or whatever they have, their devices, and just take that time for yourself because it goes fast. Anybody that's listening, and if you're a little on the older side, you're like, wow, how did that happen? How did I get so old so fast? But it does go
Me.
quickly. I know, not me, but everybody else. But no, it goes really quickly, and you have to try to take those moments. It's not like, oh, I'll do it later, or, oh, later I'll do it. It's like sometimes later never comes. So if there's things you really want to do, aside from this whole meditation piece, like start thinking about that, because we're not getting any more time, like whatever time it is that we have, whatever allotted time that, the universe probably knows for us, that's what we have. So I urge everybody to try to get out and do whatever it is you need to do. Even if, say, you want to travel somewhere and you don't have anybody to travel with, just go. You could find a group, you could do it by yourself. There's tons of like Facebook groups, people, solo travelers, because, why get to the end of your life and think, wow, I really didn't do all these things I wanted to do because I was afraid or I didn't have someone to go with me. I mean, do it. Now's the time. And that is also part of self-care. So taking that time instead of thinking, oh, well, I should really wait and I don't know, and I'll wait till my friend's available and blah, blah, blah. But you don't need to do that. I am personally giving you permission to take care of yourself and to do whatever it is you need to do. That gives you
Or wish
joy.
to do.
Yes, or wish to do. Yeah, exactly. So, and if find a way to do it, there's pet sitting. Like I saw this page where you can go to Europe and pet sit for somebody, and then you get to be in Europe. So there's different ways, there's different options. It's not always about a lot of money, but a lot of people when they get older, travel is on their list. And so if that's going to nurture you and support you, then do it, absolutely do it. Find a way because it's out there.
Oh, absolutely. I've seen those listings. And I'm also noticing there's some beautiful plants behind Denise, who's joined us today. Um, if you can't get to a park or outside and you don't have a backyard or anything, if you have a nice little plant, you get those little succulents, right? That can be a nice green space. You can blend with, I like to call about blending, just kind of connect with the nature energy of the plant. So you don't need a whole park if you can't get to one. It's kind of nice if you can. One of my favorite things when my youngest daughter was like 3 or 4, I'd take her to this playground downtown and I'd get my cup of coffee and I'd sit next to a tree and watch her and she'd be playing. It was a fenced in playground. And I get this, oh look, there's your new best friend. And she's like, okay. And it would be another little child about her age.
Mm.
And they would play and I would just sit there listening, watching them play and the water's in the background. It was quite beautiful. Um, But then you lose, that's when she was little. The little ones like to go to the park. So then they get older and you're not going to the park anymore. So anyway, the weather for the northern hemisphere right now is becoming quite warm and inviting for you to go out, even if you have to be in the shade. And that's a great way to do some self care energetically and just emotionally. Calm down. So do that. And I like to encourage people to make bucket lists. Now, not a bucket list because you're planning to kick the bucket in 10 years, an ongoing bucket list. Think of 10 things that you really want to do. And once you've written them down, put them someplace. And when you keep seeing them, somehow the universe is going to conspire to present one or two of them as an opportunity that you can take. And then you may also outgrow. You may have the list of 10 things, and 2 years later, you've done one of the activities, and all of a sudden, two of them you're not interested in because you're interested in two other things. So, this can be an ongoing, growing list. But the fact that you write it down and have it in your awareness will assist it in manifesting for you. Okay? So, and it doesn't have to be just cross them all off and then you're done. No, cross them off and then put more on. And the last thing, I was just laughing. I didn't want to slay Mari's little. I am a just do it Nike girl, right? Just do it. But my dad, his mother was from Norway. She emigrated to the U.S. in 1911. And he always talked about going to Norway. But first, I was too young because it was going to be a 2-week trip and he had too much work to do in the office. Then I got older and he got older, and all of a sudden, he really didn't want to travel 2 weeks to
Mm.
Norway. He liked going to St. Croix or to Florida for a week. So he never went. And about a year or so after he passed, my mother passed, and then I was with a spiritualist minister who was my first mediumship teacher. And she brought through a message from my parents. She goes, "Oh, I think they're in the Alps in Italy. They're by snow and mountains." And I start laughing. I said, "No, they finally went to Norway."
Oh,
So, if you don't get to do something during your lifetime on Earth, you do have the opportunity to experience or do that on the other side, but it's not the same experience. So I would echo Mari's statement, just do it and be open. Like, if money's an issue and you wanted to travel to Europe, there are pet sitting sites. They ask people to come and stay in their home for 3 weeks while they travel. Um, and you have to take care of a couple of cats. So you can take the train and go near, if it's near Paris or something like that, and just go home to that home. And it's free room and board. So you don't have to pay for the hotels. So look into that. There's different ways. There's hostels, and not only for the younger people who may be watching. My daughter has traveled to about 51 countries. She's just
mm.
turned 32. She's starting to age out of hostels though. But she's gotten to do that because she stayed at these hostels that are like $25 a night. She and three girlfriends flew over about a year ago when they had the Olympics in Paris. Right
Mm.
after that, the Special Olympics, that's when she was there, a block from Notre Dame.
Mm.
And they paid $60 for a room that had 4 beds, a nice big room, a block from Notre Dame, and that included their breakfast. So the three girls shared the $60 cost. So it was $20 each to stay in Paris with breakfast. I mean,
Wow.
it's a no-brainer. But
Yeah.
so, but it's not a travel show, so let's get back to metaphysics.
We should do a travel show because Winter and I love to travel. So I'm thinking, oh, that sounds really good. So we should do like some work in the travel somehow in the show. I like that. That'll have to be for next season. But because you can find so many things and so many things about yourself when you travel in a spiritual way, like past lives, or you go to a place and you're like, I think I've been here before. So there's lots of different ways to connect with the other side and with yourself spiritually, even while traveling. So it's yes, you leave your your woes behind, in your regular life. But there's also a lot of spiritual things that come up. I mean, I know myself, I've been to different churches and different places, and just, you get that little, wait a second, this looks kind of familiar to me. And then you can follow that path of that connection and what spiritually that means to you. And, you never know where that will take you.
Or you can get really into it honestly. I've had some intense meditations in Sedona at the
Hmm.
vortices. Um, I'll tell you, and they're all different energies. And then when I was in Norway, the elementals were just off the charts. And if I know we are going to talk about this, I would have had some of my photos pulled up. I was actually able to take pictures and catch the elementals in the forest because we went hiking in Norway, and it's
Very
just the
cool.
energy is incredible. It's the land of a thousand waterfalls. It's
Mm.
amazing. I don't know why my grandmother left, but luckily she did because otherwise my dad wouldn't have met my mom. But um, yeah, so I could definitely recommend Norway if you guys ever want to travel. And if it's too far, if you're in the States and you like spiritual activities, don't forget it is officially the Lilydale season starting next weekend. Lilydale, New York, is the largest spiritualist camp in the US. And during the summer season, they will have hundreds of programs and classes. I'll be teaching there the first week of August, and all kinds of topics: astrology, mediumship, healing, past lives, animal communication. So it's not very expensive like other places. And it's about an hour from Buffalo. So you can fly into Buffalo if you're not geographically close and then just rent a car. It's about an hour away. But that would be the energy is palpable when you drive through the gate. You just feel the energy go through you, and it's pretty intense. So there's really some neat places both in the U.S. and abroad. So travel's lovely, and you can get that deja vu from past lives, and just or I carry my grandmother's genes. When I put my foot on Norwegian land for the first time,
Mm.
there was definitely a shift. So, and I've heard similar accounts by people that have gone back to like Italy where their grandparents had emigrated from. They just they had that no, it's not really a deja vu past life knowing, but it's like a connection from the lineage. So that's kind of cool. But we should probably do
Yeah.
some readings. What do you think?
Yeah, I know. I guess we should. But just as you were talking, I'm thinking, no, that sounds like such a super cool place to be. I have definitely not been there. It is on
Lilydale?
my list. No, not Lilydale. You were talking about Norway. I was
Oh,
just thinking
Norway.
about
Yeah.
Norway. Yeah, it looks very cool. And I wanted to add to the Lilydale list for people. It's not really in the same area, but it's in New York. The Omega Institute
Hmm.
up in Rhinebeck, New York, has amazing, I think it's like 3 hours from Boston. Don't quote me, but it's not that far. And they have amazing teachers. I've studied with Tony Stockwell up there and James Van Prague, and they have like all the big names that come, not just mediumship. There's yoga, there's healing, astrology. And it's a really cool place to go up
Yes.
to in Rhinebeck. So if you're looking for that type of thing, I know they have lots of programs over the summer, so definitely. And I don't think the programs themselves are that expensive.
No,
So
and
go check them out.
the thing is, they are vegan vegetarian.
Okay,
But if
yeah.
you want to stay off campus, there's the oldest inn in the Northeast. Um, Beekman's Arms is right
Oh,
in Rhinebeck, and it's haunted. We've gone and food's good because I've stayed at the Beekman's Inn in the back where they let the people bring their animals, and I've seen some really funny ghost spirits things walking by. It was really cool. So, and I've gone to Omega. It's lovely. The energy is nice. We were in class together, I think, with Tony. That's maybe where we
yeah.
met.
Maybe that is where we met. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been up in a while, But, and I guess I didn't think about the food since I am vegan vegetarian, didn't even occur to me.
I mean, no,
But
salads I will
yeah,
have,
lots of
a couple
salads and yeah.
times. I don't mind having salad every day, but sometimes I like something along with it. So, um, but yeah, the energy's intense, so I actually like to stay off campus a little bit too, just to
Hmm.
get the space. But it's some really cool stuff upstate because that whole area, going through Kingston and up. I mean, that's like where the Fox sisters in Hydesville,
That's right.
and that was where the birth of modern spiritualists occurred. People became very focused on metaphysics and connecting with the other side. So I do think it was, they say we have Long Island is on quartz. That's why we get a lot of
Hmm.
psychics and mediums coming out of Long Island because the land is actually situated on a bed of quartz. But going upstate, the energy's it's so rich. You can go into Woodstock. We take day trips up there. I love going up there for the day, and they have the drum circles and yeah,
Yeah, it's very cool. Definitely recommend. And Rhinebeck itself is a cute little town, so
yeah,
it's not like you're stuck somewhere and isolated, in this little kind of campground, but they have good restaurants and little shopping. So it's a nice little trip. So definitely check it out if you are interested in taking some classes, studying with some cool people. And it's not, if you're on the East Coast, it's not too far.
right. And then you also have Kurpala up in Massachusetts. If you're more focused, they
Yes,
have a few mediumship things, but they're more focused on yoga.
right.
So yeah, I've been
Yeah,
there too. Okay, so let's see. Would somebody in? Oh, we got a few more people coming in.
cool.
Would somebody like a reading?
I know we want to make sure we do that. I feel like you and I could just yap all day, but if you have any questions, feel
Denise,
free
is
to let us
you're
know.
here with
Yeah.
us. Let me. So Denise, I muted you, sweetheart. So please unmute. And yeah, Mari and I are just excited because it's the summer, but
Summer.
we wanted to encourage our listeners to take some time for self healing and such.
Exactly.
Oh, speaking
Exactly.
of which, Mari, no, Denise, I did send you
Yes.
no tomorrow, right? The
Yes,
Reiki
yes,
share. Yeah.
yes. Thank you.
I have a young teacher that I'm trying to help, so I let her hold Reiki shares in my office. And
Awesome.
she's lovely, but she came down with
She's
something.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Yes, she's
Julie.
wonderful,
So,
Julie.
That's wonderful. Maybe we should do something like that online, do some Reiki share stuff online. That would be
oh, that'd be
cool.
great.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah, anytime after August is good for me.
Yeah, maybe we'll set that up. That would be fun. Or any type of healing, like online healing circle or
Yeah, online
something.
healing
Yeah.
circle and Reiki practitioners can use their Reiki.
Hmm.
That would be great because obviously it's just my local peeps that'll come to the office.
Hmm.
But she would. I wanted to help her. She wanted to do it in her home, and she said two little cute kids. And I'm like, no, don't have it in your home. Here's my
Yeah.
office.
Yeah. Nice. Nice.
I'm at
Well,
that
that's
age. I
good.
want to help the up and comings.
Exactly. Exactly. So, not that we're getting older. We're not getting older.
I am. I don't mind.
No, no. Well, you look great. Must be
Thank
all
you.
that, all of your meditation. You don't have any wrinkles, Winter.
That's my mother. Thank you, mom and
Yeah.
dad.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I try to walk the walk in addition to talking the talk. So, if I'm encouraging you to do things, it's things that I have done and found helpful. So, Denise, sweetheart, how can Mari or I help you?
Whatever spirit wants to show you, to tell me, whatever.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, I have to say something. Besides your reading, I just got an email earlier. You're going to be doing a talk for the Eyes of Learning, where I'm an ambassador of, on the tarot. They
I
sent an
am.
email. You are.
It's news to
Okay, we'll
her.
talk after the show.
Here's
But
part of my reading.
By
I
the
didn't know
way,
this.
yeah.
yeah, you're going
By
to
the
be
by.
doing, you're scheduled to do a talk like July
Oh,
17th.
when am I scheduled for?
we'll talk after the show,
That's
but
so
I wanted to
funny.
tell people because the Eyes of
Thank you.
Learning is a not-for-profit metaphysical learning community. It's the oldest on Long Island. That's where John Edwards got his start. Any money they make, they end up donating to other causes like high school student scholarships, animal charities, things like that. Nobody gets paid. But anyway, I've seen a lecture similar that you've given years ago, and it blew my mind. And apparently, they have you scheduled, and you can attend it by Zoom. So I will post it on my Facebook page once Denise, or if I get somebody, if you want to check my Facebook page, I would highly recommend taking it. I think it's like $20. They charge very little. The whole idea of the Eyes of Learning being a not-for-profit is to bring metaphysical learning opportunities to people at a low cost. Any money they get, they use the town hall, which is free, and any money they do, as I said, they donate to various causes at the annual June meeting. So, but anyway, so apparently you need a better secretary. I can tell you that before Spirit jumps in.
Yes, yes. I tell you, this hired help, what are you going to do with them? You know?
So, but why don't we ask Maury? Because I know Denise well. So, Maury, what are you getting for her?
Well, I just was, as you were talking, I pulled a few cards, and what I'm really getting for you is I feel like you're really stepping into your power in terms of your spiritual work. It feels very much like for a long time that you sort of held it inside, that you were worried about it, and there's some piece about suffering, about like self-suffering before because you had all this sort of information and love that you wanted to share, but I feel like it was almost like kind of trapped inside you. I keep seeing like a snow globe, like all the stuff inside the
Mhm.
snow globe that was just waiting to get out. And now I feel very much as your time, and you're moving into your power and you're moving into your destiny to really start sharing and stepping up on a bigger stage. I'm also seeing a book. I don't know if it's something that you were thinking about or you're thinking about writing, but they're showing me a book. So I think that's something, you might want to consider because you are, we've had you on before. I know you have a ton of knowledge, but they keep showing me a book that there's something that you need to be putting out there and really educating and amping up. They're showing me you more like getting on the stage. I mean, whether it's like big auditoriums or whatever, I'm not necessarily saying that, but just like putting yourself more out there so that people can see what you do and your knowledge. And it just feels like that you're going to have like so much success doing that, where before I just feel like you were like hidden, sort of hidden and sort of keeping it in yourself and worried about it. Like I feel like this, oh, I don't know, like I'm not sure, am I good enough? And all this self-doubt. And now I just feel almost like the veil just got lifted off of this and you're finally stepping into your power. And I'm getting chills. It just feels really
Too. Me
beautiful,
too.
Yeah,
I
and
have the chills like
I'm
about
getting
30
chills.
seconds
Yeah,
ago they started when you were talking.
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm feeling for you, and I'm so
Oh, I got
happy
them
for
again.
you because you're
Oh,
just like you're just stepping up. Like I see you on the stage and the book and the talking to people, and you're like people are going to be very receptive to you because it almost feels like that this has been your destiny for a long time.
mm,
And because of various things, and sometimes life gets in the way, it takes us a little longer to get there. And I'm sure you know that sort of once you're doing the thing you're supposed to be doing, all the doors start to open. And I mean, I'm
yes.
not saying you don't have to work, but I'm saying it's like things like, oh, this is
Mhm,
working and I have this opportunity. And like you just literally
mhm.
found out from winter, oh, by the way, you're going to be doing this. So I feel like there's more of that coming for you. And I'm thrilled for you because that's where you belong. You belong in that spotlight. You belong sharing your knowledge and teaching but I just feel like it can be getting bigger and bigger. I know we're talking about Omega and these other places. So I feel like that you can be presenting at places like that because the ball is just starting to roll and it's just going to get bigger and bigger. And I'm so happy for you. So
Thank you.
you
Thank
are so
you. And Mari,
welcome.
Thank you. That's wonderful. And it makes so much sense. And if you saw my astrology chart, it says what you're saying, that now this is the time, this is the platform. And it's true about keeping it in, that whole security versus letting go of that and then walking in and realizing there are the opportunities. It's that dichotomy. But so it makes
Exactly.
sense what you said. Definitely, definitely. Thank you very, very much. I
Oh, you're
appreciate it.
welcome. It's my
Appreciate it.
pleasure, and I'm just happy. Like I can feel the energy, and I just feel I see like your aura. It's like whereas I could see before it was like tighter, and now I can just feel like it's more expansive and just see it around you.
Yes.
It's just beautiful. So thank you for sharing that energy with me and with
Thank
anybody listening, because energy has no boundaries. It doesn't matter if you're in
you.
Cincinnati, you can still feel it. So thank
Hmm.
you for
Thank
sharing
you.
your beautiful energy, and I'm excited. Keep me posted.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and
Thank you.
I concur. Omega was like ding 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 ding.
Yeah.
I just feel like wherever you put your focus, it's gonna grow. So we'll talk after the show too. I'll send you the email
You
that
have to
you
let her
can
know what
send.
she's doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Again,
just
they're
wanted
all
to say,
volunteers, so maybe they scheduled you for something. They made up the flyer. I know their flyer work. Um,
okay, good. I just need to know when I want to show up. Just what you ladies were saying about Rhinebeck. They have the most beautiful Victorian homes.
oh
I don't know if
yes.
it's in
Yeah.
Rhinebeck or the town after, but probably both. They're
Hmm.
just, and I'm sure they're all haunted.
Oh yeah. Oh, they
Even
got a bunch of
better.
haunted ones in
Yeah.
Northport too. So the spirits are all around.
Of
You know.
course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what they have in Woodstock, which is about 45 minutes away. They have an incredible crystal shop.
Mm.
It's in right in the square of the town, and you go. Half the shop is Indian clothing from Pondicherry, and the other half of this building is
Mm.
this fabulous crystal shop. I've never seen so many crystals in such a small place in my whole life. I mean,
Wow.
they have. She must have
Mm.
1,000 pieces, and it's not a very big store. It's incredible. Um, so there's all kinds of neat places to visit up and around Rhinebeck, etc. Um, And then, of course, is the Dutchess County Fair, which is one of the nicest state county fairs you can go to. And I like to pet the goats and the chickens and all the good stuff. Um,
Yes.
Terry, would you like a message, sweetheart?
If anybody wants to come through, yeah.
Because I have your mom here, and I've brought your mom through a lot. And
Mm.
she said she absolutely wants to take um, the opportunity to come through and tell you she loves you. And she hears you, you say to her, I know you love me, mom, but I need to see a sign. Show me something. I know you're here, but I want to see it. Does that make any sense to you? Do you
Yes.
understand that? And she's like, well, here you go. I'm taking this opportunity to remind you that I am always with you when you call for me. And
Yes.
she's even with you sometimes when you're not calling for her because she and your father keep a close eye on you and your kids.
Okay.
Okay.
They do watch out for John.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So the whole family on the other side has gathered quite closely around you, your family. Okay. So there's
Thank
always
you.
somebody around. Grandma too. Now I think you were closer to your dad's mom.
I didn't know either one of them.
You didn't know either one of them.
Mm.
Okay. So I just feel like dad's mom like is very stoic and calm.
Probably, yeah.
And mom's mom, she would get a little bit more nervous if you recall any stories your parents would have talked about their
Yes.
parents. Okay. And so I feel like dad's mom continues to have that very calm, stoic energy. And she's been around you a great deal to help you manage your emotions so that you can keep going.
Thank you.
There's a lot of love and support coming through for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, honey. And I send you a big hug too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I can just piggyback on that a little bit, Terry. As Winter was talking, I just kept seeing rainbows. So I don't know if you're asking for signs, but look for rainbows because they just kept showing me rainbows, whether it's an actual rainbow in the sky, pictures of a rainbow, a mug with a rainbow. Just be on the lookout for that because I feel like that's your loved ones coming through and saying, "We're here, we're here." And the other pieces I wanted to say is that I keep seeing angels around you as well. Your loved ones, of course, but I keep seeing very strongly Archangel Michael and Archangel Gabriel. And it's almost like I know I have it on my screen, but they kept showing me like these wings out to the side, almost as if they're like, enrobing you in their love and letting you know that they are around. And for anybody that's listening, we all have angels. We have guardian angels. We have personal angels. And I'm sure I've said this before, but if you want the help of the angels, you need to ask
I
because
ask
they're
every night.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So this is a confirmation that they hear you. And some people say like, "Oh, well, why haven't I heard from anybody or why don't I get any signs?" It's like, well, for the angels, they're just kind of like hanging out. Like they're like, "Okay, we're here," but they need, since we have free will, they need to hear you ask. So, and again, I've talked about the parking angels whenever I drive somewhere, please help me find a spot. And I can tell you,
Yes.
like, good 85% of the time that works. So when you're out and about, ask for help from your angels, or if you're going through a particularly difficult time, ask for help from the angels. And so, Terry, that's great that you are doing that because they are with you, they are surrounding you with their love and trying to help support you while you go through all the trials that life deals, gives us sometimes. So just
Thank you.
please know that they're with you and that they've heard you and that they are trying to work with you. And they're also talking to me about, they just said, try to get out of the house more. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but they just said I just heard in my ear, try to get out of the house more. So they
Yeah.
want you to try to, even if it's for a little bit, to sit in the sun, like we talked about earlier, or just get some fresh air. Because there's a feeling of almost stale energy around you, and they're saying like, go do something for yourself, even walk to the corner or something, because that's going to help reset your energy a little bit, and that's going to help you just sort of deal with things better and feel a little bit better too, because with the energy around you, I just sort of feel it's just, heavy. And so try to sort of release some of that, and getting outside a little bit, I think will help with that as well.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Big hugs from me too.
Thank you.
And pet the cat. You still have the cat, right?
Yes.
Yeah, pet the cat. Our fur babies are like little angels on earth, and
Yep.
they give us a lot of healing, even if they're not cognitively aware in the present state that they're existing. Like, the cat may not understand it's giving out, but
Mm-hmm.
its soul does. So,
Totally.
yeah, avail yourself. Then the cat will enjoy the extra affection too. But they have studies that show just petting the cat helps reduce blood pressure,
Mm-hmm.
stress,
Yeah.
and you know, that's play with the cat because engage a little bit of humor and laughter. That will also help break up. Laughing will help break up that heavy energy, which is, I understand why you have that.
Mm.
But laughing, so even try to throw on a funny show and allow yourself to laugh.
Okay.
That will break it up too. If you can't, get outside because of weather or not feeling well. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wanted to add about the piece about the cats, for people that don't know. I mean, they have also done studies that the cat's purr is very healing. And I can tell you for certain with my own cats that I have, I have three cats currently. I don't know if that makes me a crazy cat lady or I
I'm
need
the
one
crazy cat
more
lady.
to be okay, you can be. So I'm not sure how many you need to be the crazy cat lady, but I have three, and there's one of my cats that I call her the witch's cat because she loves to be in here in my office when I'm doing readings. But also, whenever I'm lying down, if I've, you get to be older, you have certain injuries, you hurt this or that hurts. She, without fail, will climb on me, and if my hip hurts, she'll sit on my hip and purr. If I have a headache, I'm not kidding, she'll come and she'll sit on the side of my head and purr. Or I've hurt my wrist and she'll come and find so wherever it is I'm hurting, she's my little healer because she knows where to go. So, it's her soul, it's her intuition that she's like, oh, my mom's hurting. I want to help her. And I always feel better when she does it. I mean, I'm not saying if you break your arm, don't go to the hospital, not saying that, but they have shown that the purring of the cats is actually very therapeutic and does speed up your own body's healing. So let them sit on you or next to you or wherever it is because it
Always
is
with me.
helping you.
She's
Yeah,
Oh,
the
and
always
she's
with me.
trying to support you. She's saying, Mom, I want to help you. I want to love you. So just sort of allow that. Just say, I know that you're here to help me because they are. They're our little furry earth angels. So we're
Thank you.
lucky to have them.
and
Yeah.
the crazy cat lady here, right? I intentionally got four cats. One because I'm an animal communicator. I was fostering. She asked if she could stay because she was a scaredy cat. She still is.
Hmm.
And then my daughter insisted we keep her, um, the one that they bundled her with, because he was outgoing. I said, he'll get a home. No, I said, fine, you adopt him. So that made six. And then we inherited a cat. But anyway, the cat's purring vibration is the same vibration that's used for healing bones. If you use sound healing, that's where
Yep.
they, have identified it. And then, of course, it just calms you down anyway, having that purring little creature next to you will bring your blood pressure down. So that also helps. But yeah, I love my
And
cats.
dogs too. Dogs too. On
Yes.
my Facebook here, my friend Brenda is chiming in and she's talking about her doggy Tucker and how he's the same way. So your dogs can heal. And of course, if you don't know, horses are extremely healing. They use them in equine therapy because they're so sensitive and just being around them, petting them. If you have, not everybody has a horse, but if you have that opportunity, they're super healing. All animals are, whatever animal you have. But just know that our animals are here to help us be the highest version of ourselves. So they want to help us, and that's why they're here. So avail yourself of that and know that when they're coming to you, they're trying to sort out the feelings that you have and help you deal with them in the best way that you can.
Absolutely. So, and we'll just throw it out there to any of our watchers on Facebook. Is anybody interested in a reading? Because we're getting kind of close to the end, and we are going to draw the card. I have my deck. Speaking of animals, if you don't mind.
Cool.
First, let's just see
Yeah.
if anybody tuned in to get a quickie.
Yeah, check your Facebook. I just gave my shout out here. I don't know if Brenda wanted a reading, but um, yeah, see if there's anybody on your end that wants one. Otherwise, we can
No,
pull a
we're good. I think
card.
Dave was here, but I think he's in Scotland, so it's kind of late there. So I think he
Oh, yeah.
signed off, but he did step in.
And for people that were wondering, Flavia, our beautiful elemental and fairy goddess, she had a family emergency when she was supposed to be on, but she is slated to come back in the fall. So don't worry, you will still get a chance to see her and hear her. She is amazing, and look her up if you have a chance. She teaches everywhere about the elementals and fairies and witchy type of things. So we're excited that she's going to be on. So watch our
Yeah.
pages for that date.
I love fairies. They work with
Yeah,
me.
me too.
Okay, so I picked the Four of Winter, which is an adorable koala bear.
Mm.
And the message from the card is thoroughly think things through, blah, 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 before making a decision. Continuing to overanalyze isn't going to get you any closer to a resolution, but meditation and prayer will bring the answers you seek. Now, I
Mm.
want to tie this little card in. You can see the little koala bear.
Oh,
So for those of you with Google, also Google what the koala bear brings as far as animal medicine. I don't have that handy, but the fact that we picked the koala bear, the message is on point, particularly because we are in the shadow period. And Denise, my resident expert astrologer, when does Mercury retrograde start?
the 29th,
It
maybe.
starts the
Okay.
29th, but we're
29th?
already in the shadow phase
Yes.
of it. So we're feeling it. And whatever started about maybe June 12th, June 13th, just take a note.
We had two
Because there's
cards
an
break down.
element.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Yeah.
and
That's it.
my daughter
And
had terrible
daughter had
traffic
trouble.
driving home she moved out of Boston, stopped at home before she got the car fixed, and then traveled on. She's en route to New Orleans. But anyway, so it's telling you to think things through thoroughly, not to
Mm-hmm.
overanalyze. There's a difference. And that's perfect sense with a Mercury retrograde period coming up, because Mercury retrograde teaches us to review, rethink, rehash, just kind of look things over with a new perspective before we release or make that determination. So that card fits in closely. And then I would suggest, if you're watching, also Google what does the koala bear bring as far as energy trades. So, because it was the koala that showed up on that card.
Very nice. I love that message. It's perfect. It fits right into everything that we were talking about. And, it's been wonderful to wrap up another season with you, Winter. I can't even remember how many years we've been doing this. It feels
This is
like
season
like a
5.
while. Season 5. Holy mackerel. So
Yeah,
that's
our
awesome.
seasons run from September to June, for
That's
those
right.
wondering.
Yeah, so it's been great, and I'm so glad we get to do this, every month. And thank you to our wonderful guests and everybody that comes on, and the people in the audience, and anyone listening. This is also broadcast on, once I upload it, on Spotify, iHeart, and iTunes. So you can always catch us on Spirit Chat anywhere, anytime if you miss an episode. So. Yeah, I think that about wraps it up for today. I don't know,
Yeah.
Winter, do you have any
Just gonna
last thoughts?
throw out. I will be in Lilydale August 6th through the 9th. I'm teaching like 3 days there. Trance, um, mediumship, a half day on mediumship, and a half day on meet and greet your spirit guides, which kind of is it'll be using aspects of blending from trance, but with the higher teachers and guides. Like Mari was mentioning, we all have personal angels. I refer to them as guides, but same concept: protectors, advisors, and yeah. So it's a great place to visit. I hope you might think about joining me while I'm there and taking the classes. And God bless you all.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for joining us again for Spirit Chat. We will catch you in September. Feel free to listen to our past episodes. If you miss us over the summer, I know we will miss you, but I will be at the beach. So if you want to find me, that's where I'll be. So thanks so much for coming, everybody. Have a great